Hi, today I'm going to provide a real-world example for explaining a concept that I had talked about in a prior video, which is to focus on the domain of the customer, the world of the customer, the pain and the misery of the customer when you are trying to sell them something. Do not focus on what it is you have to offer them. Rather, focus on why they may need what you have. So, I'm going to use a real-life example. But first, it's really important that you look at this video that I'm going to link to up here. Please watch it and then watch this one, because if you watch this one without understanding the backstory, you're not going to explain why I'm talking and using this example. So, a customer walks in with a liquid damaged machine. You can see that there is water and tea and crab literally still dripping and spilling out of it. And I talked to them about it, and I'm about to open it up, and they say, you know, I went to Apple, and Apple told me that it would be $750 for me to mail it to them, and they'll fix everything wrong with it, even though the computer still turns on. By the way, thank you very much, Apple, for creating an entire industry for people who are more than happy to use their brain to figure out exactly what the problem is. Thank you for being so expensive, so ridiculous, so asinine, that even any fuckwit moron can make money working on your products. I digress. Moving on to the point of my story. She brings it in, and it's dripping water, but it still works. And I open it up in front of her, and while I'm opening it up, she tells me, by the way, you know, I don't have a job right now, I'm looking for work, I need to be able to look for work, but I don't have any money to spend on this. I don't have a lot of money to spend on this. She said, I don't have any money to spend on this. And a typical sales manager at that point is going to look at the salesperson and be like, you know, make some decision, make some kind of, hand signal that says just sell them a GTFO, we don't want their business. And I kind of understand why they would do this, because this is a third-party repair shop. In my case, I don't offer warranties, I'm not trying to sell you a new computer, I'm not trying to send your computer back to Apple for warranty. I only make money if I actually do something to your device. And that being the case, I'm not going to make any money off of somebody if their stated goal is to spend no money. But I'm not a standard salesperson, so that's not what I do. I'm opening it up, and I use the compressed air to blow away all of this garbage that I see here. There's tons of tea, little remnants of tea, and then there's a big old green spot, big old nice green and blue spot where you can see that it started to corrode some parts. It does turn on, but it's obvious this thing is going to fail. And she asks when it's going to fail. I'm not psychic, I give an honest answer, anywhere from 1 day to 3 years. I really have no idea. But it does indeed work now. And she really doesn't want to spend money. And at this point, I did something that most sales managers are going to fire me for, or get me in trouble for, take me into their office later for. And I said, honestly, you shouldn't spend the money. You'd be looking at $125 plus tax for us to ultrasonically clean your board right now, which would get rid of all this crap that you see. Or you could spend $325 plus tax when it dies, but continue using it as long as you can. And since you don't have a job, and you don't really have the money, I would suggest just waiting. Because $125 right now is going to hurt a lot more than $325 will later when you have a paying job and you have a salary. And I'm explaining the options. And I'm doing something here that most salespeople don't do. I'm trying to nurture and help the customer. I'm actually talking to them, talking through my way through their problem, telling them what I would do and why I would do it. And I'm not at all explaining the benefits of my services. I'm not explaining why you should give me money. I'm not explaining how amazing my ultrasonic cleaner is, the success rate of our spill damage repair, how our warranty works and how amazing and comprehensive our warranty is, how experienced my technicians are. You see, all of that crap is my world, not theirs. It's useless, it's worthless, and has no place in the conversation. It's no point in making a presentation to a customer when you don't know or understand their pain, because you're making a presentation without even knowing where the target is. You're trying to throw the dart, but you don't even know where the target is, so what's the point of throwing the dart? That's how I feel when people make presentations before taking the time to understand the customer's pain. So, she agrees with me and thanks me, and I start closing it up. Again, no hard feelings. That's why it says we offer a free estimate. No hard feelings. And as I'm closing it up, and I'm about to give it, she's explaining to me how she's looking for a job, how she needs to be able to look for a job, and I close it up and give it back to her. She says, thank you very much, and she's about to walk out the door. Now what I noticed while I was closing it up is she's trying to do something on her phone, and her phone is being a pain in the ass. Now, for all the things that you'll hear and see written on blogs about how mobile is the future, computer sales are down, tablets and phones are the future, when I try to do something on a computer, it takes me 20 seconds. When I try to do that same task on a tablet or a phone, it takes me 3 to 5 minutes. And that's why I still have a computer. That's why I still use a computer. I may have bought this, I may spend less money on computers than I do on mobile devices, but there's a good reason that I still have a computer, because I don't want to torture myself on a mobile device. And it was very clear that this person was in the process of torturing themselves on a mobile device. So as she's walking out, I go, by the way, do you have the Office application installed on your iPhone? I noticed that you have an iPhone 4, and you can actually edit documents on it. And she goes, well, no, but why would I need that? And I said, well, you stated that it's very, very important to you that you would be able to look for work. So I'm just trying to help you in case this fails. Because let's say all this corrosion finally does eat away at the motherboard, it may take me a week or 2 weeks to figure out how to fix it. And during that time, you would be unable to look for work. So I'd like to try to set you up with your phone so that you would be able to look for work. Do you have the LinkedIn app as well? And she goes, no, why would I don't want to use the LinkedIn app on my phone. And I said, well, here, let me show you how it works on my tablet. It's pretty cool. And I showed her the Office app, and I showed her how this works. And I started browsing to monster.com, and I was browsing with this fucking shit garbage cock and balls Nexus 7, which has a worthless touchscreen where it's like, it's ignoring me. Half of the time I'm hitting the fucking tabs, it's not working. As everybody here has probably experienced at one point, the mobile version of a website very often sucks balls compared to the regular version of it. And Monster.com's in this particular instance was no exception. It was fucking awful. And she's just looking at this in shock and horror. And I'm trying to help her. I'm not trying to sell her anything. I'm trying to help her install an app on her phone for free to help her with what she defined to me to be her problem, her pain, and I'm in her world. And about after 30 seconds of this debauchery, she says, okay, here, can you do it? Here, just take it. And she wants me to do the $125 option. And you know why I got that sale? It's because I was focused on the customer's world. I wasn't focused on mine. For not waste 1 second explaining how our warranty works, how experienced our technicians are, how great our reviews are, all the things we're going to do to make your machine better, how your machine is going to die, how much more money you're going to have to spend later. I didn't go in depth and detail creating a presentation from my world to sell to them. Because most salespeople are taught, all you got to do is show them all the features of the product, tell them how our product's the best, and then lock them in and close. That's not how it works. When you rush to close, you seem so needy, so desperate, and that desperation gets people to run the fuck out the door. It doesn't work. I did not give a shit if this person left their device here. I did not give a fuck if this person decided to give me money. I really didn't. I actually helped them not give me money. I gave this person every opportunity to say, no, I do not want you to fix my device. I even told them, you don't spend the money now, spend the money later. And I was even helping this person. I was showing them how they could avoid using their computer to do the exact thing. Because you can very well edit a resume on a tablet or an iPhone 4 nowadays. It's a bit of a pain in the ass, but it is completely fucking doable. I did not try to close. I don't care about closing a sale. And we know what happened? I got a decision. I got this person to come to a decision based on a presentation to them of their pain. Just how miserable their life was going to be if they decided not to use this service. I got them to come to that conclusion on their own. I did not come to that conclusion for them. And because I got this person to come to that conclusion on their own, I got a decision. I got them to make a decision that stuck. Not a decision where they're going to call back in 2 hours and go, I changed my mind. Not a decision where they're going to leave their laptop here for a year and never come back because they regret that they were going to spend money to fix it. They regret the decision they made. Because a lot of salespeople do that. They make you make decisions that you regret having made. They make you make decisions that you go back on later. This is a decision that's stuck. See, the more I try to pull a pendulum in my direction, the more I try to get people to do what I want, the harder it's going to swing in the other direction. And the harder and faster they're going to run right out the door. But if I push them out the door, if I push the pendulum in that direction, it's going to swing right back to me, and I'm going to be just fine. And that's how I was able to sell this one particular individual. And that's how I aim to sell every customer that comes in the store. I don't go on talking about how amazing we are. I don't even wear professional clothing. I'm wearing a $5 Hanes t-shirt, some pants that are ripped, and that day I was even unshaven. I'm not focusing on my professionalism. And I'm not trying to show them how amazing we are, how amazing I am, how professional I am, and then going in for the clothes and getting the money. That's not really what it's about. Rather, it's about understanding the pain of the customer, painting for the customer a little vision of what their misery is going to be if they decide to use the alternative of your product, and without being pushy during this process. If I do that, very often I get the customer, and I get them to make a decision that sticks, and I get them to choose us for a good reason. I get somebody who's a client, not a customer, somebody who's always going to come back and use us, because I'm focusing on the world of my customer. Whether I'm trying to sell $40,000 worth of screens to a company that works in the aerospace and medical fields, and I'm trying to convince them why they should use us instead of some fuckwit on Alibaba, or I'm trying to sell a cheap, unemployed customer a $100 simple little laptop repair, the same principle applies. Figure out what the pain of the customer is. Figure out what their concerns are. Get them to realize what their concerns are. Get them to realize what's going to happen if the worst case scenario occurs, and then try to come up with a solution that's going to work for them. Allow them the opportunity to say, I don't like your solution. Don't push them. Don't try to corner them and get them to say yes. Rather, encourage them to say, no, I don't want what you're offering. No, I don't want this. Because when you get a no, you get an answer that actually means something. You get to work with them. You get to figure out why they don't like what you have to offer. You get to figure out why they're saying no, so that you can work with it and come up with an amicable solution. If you do that, you'll figure out that you're actually able to sell a lot more than those fuckwits that are making these silly presentations that go nowhere, than these people that are rushing to close at every instance. Don't close.